Imagine that you won the lottery. And the amount of money that you won was $86,400. What would you do with $86,400 if you had it right now today? Yes, Ethan.
Buy a cyber truck.
Buy a what?
Cyber truck.
A cyber truck. I cannot hear you. Is it cyber truck?
Yeah.
All right, cyber truck. Yes.
Save it.
Save it.
Put it in an account.
What would you do?
Invest it.
Invest it. Donate it.
Give some to my family.
Give some to your family. Who else? Anybody else? Brody.
Not use it because my family would take it.
Not use it because your family would take it. Dad tax. Yes.
I would save some of it and then donate some of it.
Okay, save some of it, donate some of it.
I would do that too, but I would buy my chess courses.
You would buy what?
Chess courses.
Chess courses. Yes, Brian.
I would, probably, save it.
Save it. Okay. Cool. Yeah, Fox.
Pay for college.
Pay for college. Awesome. I got a lot of those on here. Do you know that 86,400 is how many seconds that each of you have in a day? Every one of you gets the same amount of time every day. What do you think separates successful people from unsuccessful people when they have the same amount of time every day as you do? Yes.
They use that time wisely.
They use that time wisely. All right? Yes, Fox. They don't procrastinate. Okay. Yes. Ethan, you got something? Forgot it. Anybody else? Yes.
They take their time and focus.
They take their time and focus. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yes, I think they use their time wisely. They take their time and they focus. I think focus is a very good answer because once I heard someone say there's always more good ideas than the capacity to do them. There's all kinds of stuff you can say yes to. The question is, are you going to say yes to the things that are going to make the biggest difference in your life? Because you can do a lot of stuff. But what are you going to say yes to? Let's watch a video to help us better understand this idea of how we spend our time. We have a limited amount of time every single day to make an impact, make a difference, and make decisions that are going to result in us making a difference and being successful. I think one word that sums all this up is intention. Intention is a word that speaks of motivation, purpose. If you're going to make the most of your time, you must ask what your intentions are. What are your goals in life? What are you supposed to be living for? What is a successful life? And are you living in a way so that when you come to the end of your life, you can say, that was a successful life. That was a life well lived. So today we're going to be talking about time management. How do we manage our time? And I think the image that best represents this idea is the opportunity statue. You'll hear a little bit more about this later, but the opportunity statue, like a lot of our helicopter or umbrella haircuts today, the hair falls in front of the eyes of this statue right here. And whenever your hair falls in front of your eyes, like any athlete or musician or someone that has long hair knows, what does it do to your vision? It blinds you or makes it difficult to see things, right? And oftentimes you see someone that's playing an instrument or someone that's playing sports, they'll wear a headband or something to keep the hair out of their face so they can see what they're doing. Well, this might be some of us that we're blinded to what actions or what things that we can commit to that are going to make the biggest difference or impact on our lives. And so we want to make decisions with a clear view of what's going to impact our lives and going to make the biggest difference. So each of us have the same amount of time each day, and our actions are either aligning us with benefit or aligning us with burden. Your actions every day are either aligning you to receive benefits or aligning you to receive burdens. And the question is, what actions are you taking? What are you doing every day? You're either trending up or you're trending down based on the decisions that you make every day. And so our big idea for today is successful people are ready for successful opportunities. Successful people are ready for successful opportunities. Essentially, what we're saying is that instead of looking for a successful opportunity, how about you live like a successful person? Be that person. Focus more on being the person that would be successful if the opportunity came along. Stop looking so much for, I'm trying to hit it big or I'm trying to be the best. Most of the time when people become a success, it's not because it happened overnight. It's because they did the right thing day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. And when opportunity presented itself, that person was ready for it and they knew what they were looking for. So how do we live successful lives? Well, the first thing that we see is that we can live a successful life by measuring ourselves with Jesus. We can live a successful life by measuring ourselves with Jesus. In Ephesians chapter 5, looking at verse 15, Ephesians chapter 5, looking at verse 15, it says, "Pay careful attention then to how you walk, not as unwise people, but as wise, making the most of the time because the days are evil." So we can live a successful life by measuring ourselves with Jesus. Notice he says to pay careful attention. This command is front-loaded. He could have said, then pay careful attention. But instead he said, pay careful attention then. He's underscoring that this should be your focus. This should be what you're paying attention to. This should be what you're focused on. And then he uses the word then. The word then means that based on what he's previously said, this is what you should do. So because God's judgment is impending, because God will judge us one day, the Bible says first comes death and then judgment. And also because you made a commitment to God to be His follower, to be Jesus' follower, then you should do what I'm about to say. He says, then to how you walk. The word walk is a metaphor comparing it to your life. So how you live your life, you need to pay attention to how you're living. You shouldn't live it aimlessly. Shouldn't just do every day like, I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm going to school. I don't know why I'm in this family. I don't know why I'm going over here. I don't know why I play a sport. I don't know why I play this instrument. I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. He says that you should have purpose behind what you're doing. Because what you do will determine whether you're trending up towards success or you're trending down towards unsuccess. So you need to pay attention to how you walk. And then he says, not as unwise, but as wise, making most of the time because the days are evil. So what is the measurement for your life? The measurement for your life is not doing what is unwise, but doing what is wise. And how do we determine what is wise and unwise? Wisdom is not based on sincerity. Just because you say, I want to do the right thing, or experience. There's a lot of people who have a lot of experience in their life, but they haven't learned anything from it. And some of them make the same mistakes again and again and again. So experience doesn't necessarily mean there's wisdom, and sincerity doesn't necessarily mean there's wisdom. So how do we find wisdom? Well, the wisdom Paul is talking about is the wisdom of aligning yourself with Jesus' life. When you align yourself with Jesus' life, then you are able to know what wisdom is. We can live successful lives by measuring ourselves with Jesus and by mastering ourselves with the Spirit. We can live a successful life by measuring ourselves with Jesus and mastering ourselves with the Spirit. So it says in verse 17 and 18, don't be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. And don't get drunk with wine, which leads to reckless living, but be filled by the Spirit. So he tells us to be filled by the Spirit. You know, be filled with the Spirit is not an active verb. That means it's not something that you do. It's something that is done to you. So the Spirit is trying to control your life because you're a Christ follower. And the question is, are you going to allow the Spirit to control your life, or are you not going to allow the Spirit to control your life? And so the next question we want to ask is, how are we filled with the Spirit? Do we have a tank and we open it up and the Spirit just goes inside of us? Or how exactly does that work? Well, he tells us in the next few verses, and basically says in the next few verses that you need to speak to one another about God's Word. That's why we have accountability partners. So that you'll actually have conversations about what God has done and about His Word with each other. Because He says that's how you're filled with the Spirit, as you're building a relationship that's around following Jesus. Number 2, He says to speak to God. You need to have a relationship with God where you and God are talking on a regular basis. That you tell God about your highs and your lows. You tell God about what's going right and what's going wrong. You tell God about what you're excited about and what you're dreading. You talk to God about life. Not just, God, here's my list, here's everything I want you to give me. And the other thing He says is allow other Christ followers to add value to you. If you allow other Christ followers to add value to you, then you are going to get shaped, built up, and become more like Jesus. What we can do is whenever somebody tries to add value to you, teach you, develop you, show you the right way, challenge you in certain areas, you could just blow them off. You could ignore them, you could walk away from them, you can act like you don't want to hear them, or you can step up and listen, and really listen. Try to understand what they're calling you to, what they're asking you to do. It could be that you've done these 4 C's that we talk about all the time: coming to Christ daily, connecting with believers weekly, contributing your gifts, changing your world. And we're trying to get you to do this. And we're handing out SALT applications right now for people to sign up for SALT. And what you're saying is, I want you to pour into me more. Like, yeah, small group, you've been pouring into me. You've been teaching me through large group teaching, through small group. I need more. I want more. I want to be more of a leader. I don't want to just care about my walk with Jesus. I want to make a difference in other people's walk with Jesus. That's what being on SALT is about. It's not about just being in a group or getting a t-shirt or getting to stand on stage or everybody knowing that you're the leader. It's about caring about other people beyond just caring about your walk with Jesus. That's what being a leader is. Because if you think you're a leader but no one's following you, you're just taking a walk. You're not really making a difference in anybody's life. So the question is, where are you with that? Are you filled with the Spirit? Are you allowing people to pour into you? So what should we do? 2 things. You need to get your priorities straight. One great way to do that is to make a to-do list. If you can make a to-do list every night before you go to bed about what you need to do tomorrow, then after you make the to-do list of things you need to do tomorrow, put A, B, and C, with A being top priority, B being medium priority, and C being low priority, based on the impact that it's going to have on your life. And then make sure you do the A things, fit in the B things, and then if you get to the C things, take care of the C things. But make sure you get the things that are going to have the biggest impact. So our big idea again is successful people are ready for successful opportunities.